It's another day, another week in this crazy world. But one thing that does not change is God's Word, the Bible. And I'm reading in 1 Corinthians. I'm now at chapter 6. So I hope you are reading and learning some English, but more importantly, what this word says to us. Chapter 6, if any of you has a dispute against another, a dispute, if you have a problem, an argument, we don't agree. It's a dispute. If any of you has a dispute against another, how dare you take it to court before the unrighteous? He says, don't take your problems with believers. He's talking about you and other believers, about you and me who believe in Jesus Christ, who believe this word. If we have an agreement, don't take our problems to some unbeliever somewhere. Do not take it before the unrighteous. He's saying those that aren't believers. So how dare you take it before the unrighteous and not take it before the saints? In other words, we should take our problems to fellow believers who are respected, who help us, who lead us. Or don't you know that the saints will judge the world? So don't we know? Don't you know that God's people in the end are going to judge over this world and all the evil of it? And if the world is judged by you, a saint, are you unworthy to judge the trivial cases? Can't we just judge these little things, these little arguments, these little disputes? Don't you know that we will judge angels? Oh, we will judge angels. That's hard to understand, hard to believe. It says we will judge angels. How much more matters of this life, little things, our little disagreements. So if you have such matters, do you appoint as your judges those who have no standing in the church? We should go to people to judge, to help our disputes, who we respect, that are fellow believers. We should have them be the ones who judge. No standing in the church, no position. It's saying, do you put people over you who have no part of the church? Well, we shouldn't. Our governments do, of course. But we personally should go to those whom we respect with a position in God's church. I say this to your shame. Can it be that there is not one wise person among you who is able to arbitrate, to work out the problem between fellow believers? Instead, brother goes to court against brother, and that before unbelievers. So Paul, in these first 6 verses of chapter 6, is saying, you have problems among you, and you that believe each other. I'm writing this letter to all of you who believe, and you have problems with each other. You have arguments. And why don't you have someone in your group of people who are believers that you allow to judge you, to help you with these disputes? But instead, you're taking your problems out here to non-believers. It would be just like this. It would be, say, let's make an example. Say you have a large family that you love and you trust, okay? You have a problem within the family. And instead of allowing the respected of your family to help you make decisions, arbitrate, decide the conflict, you're going to those who aren't a part of your family to have them do it. So as we start in chapter 6, for the beginning of chapter 6 is talking about believers, we who follow Christ, allowing believers to help us in our disputes and not allowing the world to decide our disputes. God bless you as you read in 1 Corinthians.